This is Talk Business and Politics with Roby Brock.
Welcome to today's Talk Business and Politics. I'm Roby Brock, joined by John Brummett, columnist with the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. Good to see you, sir.
Yes, I am. Good
Always
to be here.
Good to see you. I want to start with something fun before we get to the
fun.
ugly stuff.
Something about Trump
week.
or Mueller?
Yeah, all of that stuff. Let's talk about peaches. You've been writing about peaches a lot lately.
Really, just one column. But you're talking
about. You've been
about
on Facebook and all your social media. You've
Those
been
don't
talking
count.
a lot about peaches.
Yeah,
so
I have.
Tell me where you went, and why you went, and how this is an annual ritual, and what does a peach mean to you?
A peach, in the column I wrote Sunday, I present the peach, the fresh Arkansas peach, as a symbol of our human connection and our culture. No less than that. That's the point. I'm actually, I don't know if anybody got it, but I was trying to say, you know, we're in such a divided time when we're hostile for each other. Here's something that brings us together in a natural way. And like I got right-wing friends who are bringing me peaches. You know,
But what about the peach haters out there, John? I mean, come on.
If there are peach haters out there, they're beyond help, and I can't do anything for them, and they need to read somebody else's column. That was the point of that article. Each year about this time, I make a peach trek to get
a peach pilgrimage.
Yes.
To Johnson County.
Johnson County, a town of Lamar, about 5 miles of Little Rock side of Clarksville, to peach picking paradise, and I come back with this time 1.5 bushels of peaches.
What do you do with them? What do you do with them? You cut them up, you pour a little cream on them and eat them? Do you eat them just like an apple? What do you do with a peach? You make a pie?
I give them away. You said you didn't want any, but
This is true.
But I bag up 6 or 8 and give to friends, which is part of this human connection. Sometimes I'll just go to over the sink and I'll just eat one. Sometimes I'll cut it up and have it with any of the 3 meals of the day. I find it suitable at all times. I don't allow it to be cooked for cobbler. I think that wastes a good fresh peach.
Okay.
Now I get a lot of disagreement on that. And I also will cut a peach, 4 fresh peaches into a blender, add a can of frozen lemonade concentrate, perhaps a little bit of vodka, and some ice, and make what I call the Arkansas snow cone for grown-ups. And it's quite tasty and refreshing. So
now I would come over and have one of those on your back porch.
Well, come on.
Okay.
We'll see when we can get that done, because some people say it's a sissy drink.
Do you put like an umbrella and a straw in it? Okay.
No. I serve it in a chilled glass. It's quite good.
Okay.
And I welcome you over, and we'll do that, and let you play with the Beagles, Roscoe and Sophie.
That
All right?
Good. All
Is
right.
that enough fun for you?
That is good.
But I think that's an Arkansas story. It's such an Arkansas story that Rex Nelson wrote about peaches one day, and I came back the next day. We sort of repetitious about the glory of the Arkansas peach.
It's all right. You can't write too much about peaches in Arkansas.
No, you can't.
Let's talk about the events of the last week in Washington, D.C. in particular, which is where the main activity has been. We talked last week about the Mueller hearing where he was going to testify before Congress. You thought that it would be a non-starter, a dud. What's your assessment now that it's happened?
I like your text to me saying we're going to talk about Mueller, the movie, which was the video presentation of the book, of the report. Yeah, I sat here last week and I said I've written a column imagining what Mueller's going to say. What I imagined was a little more articulate than what he actually said, but it was along the same vein. He was not. He plainly did not want to be there. He plainly was not going to say more than the report. And I said it would amount to nothing. It amounted to nothing. But I believe in amounting to nothing, it's yet another victory for Donald Trump. I think every time the Democrats desperately go after him, hoping that the special counsel is going to deliver the goods, and then it doesn't quite happen, hoping Mueller will say the special counsel goods verbally on camera and that it will somehow have more political punch. That didn't happen. Every time they do that, he is a survivor and thus a winner. I, in fact, believe that we are watching a slow rehabbing of Donald Trump's second-term opportunities, largely because of Democratic ineptitude. I think they need to shut the heck up and concentrate on beating him at the polls, because that's where it's going to be. And you can make an issue of the type of person, the type of human being, the misbehavior of the man as evidenced in the report, without pursuing this impeachment thing, which is going nowhere. So that's my take on that.
You think that they should not, the Democrats believe that he has committed crimes, they believe he's broken the law, they believe that he has done impeachable offenses. You don't think that they should do any of those things? In the lens of history, we'll look back at this and say, why didn't you guys do anything about all these egregious things?
I think the lens of history will look back and say, Robert Mueller was not allowed to charge the President of the United States under Justice Department opinion. There was no rule of the Justice Department that said he couldn't put in his report, though we can't charge, we find criminal activity. He did not do it. Mm-hmm. That's what the lens of history will show. We got up to the edge, but you did not have either there's a crime or there isn't. Either you charge or there isn't. He could have said that, he didn't. And in fact, in his extremely addled first round of testimony, he actually said, I did a double take, I thought, uh-oh. He actually said the only reason I didn't charge him was because I wasn't allowed. He said that. And I thought, what in the world? Because his position
that would have been a change.
A total change. And I would have essentially said there was a crime. And as expected, he comes back for the second session and says, oh, I didn't mean to say that. Didn't understand the question. He said, I take your question, which is one of the, you ever heard that before? I take your question. What that means is, I understand you just asked me something, period. Move on. I was not impressed with that whole exercise. I do not, you either have the goods or not. Now, if you had them from the report, or if you have them from your voluminous files of your own congressional investigations, then Mr. Schiff and Mr. Cummins and Mr. Nadler, let's hear it, let's go.
Yep.
File the articles and let's talk about it. Otherwise, shut the heck up.
Okay.
That's my view.
You mentioned Mr. Cummings from the city of Baltimore.
Right.
He's become at the center of another Trump controversy, labeled racist once again, talking in some of the similar language that he did a week ago with the four congresswomen that were people of color here. You thought that maybe you were holding back a little bit on that the comments were racist a week ago. Have you seen more evidence that has changed your opinion?
Yeah, I mean, you know, one thing about Trump is that there's really no need to try to be fair to him, because he's just going to compound his transgression. I mean, so when he said send them back, I said maybe he would say send back white people if he thought it would serve his purposes. Let's talk about it as a horrible action, but let's not cry racist just every time something like this arises. Well, he comes back and attacks an urban inner city, largely African-American, represented by an African-American congressman, as a place nobody would want to live, as a place worse than the border conditions he's had. The evidence the circumstantial evidence, now compounding, seems to be that he deliberately seeks to use that as a wedge issue. White resentment of or disapproval of sort of the black inner city and the crime and the troubles there.
It's hillbilly elegy, isn't it?
It's very much. And I think he's doing it, I know he was always doing it on purpose, but I can't deny it's simply a race. However, it doesn't amount to anything. Again, I mean, Trump's base believes, yeah, this congressman whose own district, people are shooting each other and they're living in squalor and they're having children out of wedlock, and he dares criticize conditions at the border, people trying to get in our country. They love it. And those of us who recoil in horror, we've been recoiling in horror now for about 3 or 4 years. There's really nothing new to make us recoil even more. That's all baked into the equation. That's why I say tweet, talk about it, be outraged, have your hearings. One of these Democrats who's going to debate, this week again, needs to show somebody something. Otherwise, we got 5 more years of this guy.
All right.
Okay.
He's John Brummett with the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. Catch his columns on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Sundays in the paper.
Wednesday online only.
Wednesday online only.
And on the iPad every day, if that's your method.
Thank you.
Thank you, my man.
All right. That's all for today's program. I'm Roby Brock. We'll see you next time.
You'll find us at the end of a lot of long country roads, covering over 60% of the great state of Arkansas. Our 17 electric distribution cooperatives are working day and night to provide reliable, affordable power to over 500,000 homes, farms, and businesses, just like yours. The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas, your local energy partners.
Each day, the promise of our nation begins again. Arkansas and America moving forward. I help make that promise a reality. It's not for everyone, but people everywhere depend on us.
Oh, I love you too, sweetie.
Trucking delivers, or everything stops. And that's what drives me.